Hey everyone, welcome to another video. I am Mike B, and today we're going to be doing something that's kind of fun that, since I've been on the topic of military surplus firearm collecting, we're going to get on the topic of restoration projects, and kind of rolling the dice. And, you know, if you got a dealer that has rifles or pistols that are, you know, they say they have issues, they're grade 2 or they're shooter grade or whatnot, and they describe issues and you're willing to roll the dice for any amount of issues, but you get a significant discount on what the going rate is, you end up with something like this. So this is a Czechoslovakian Vz.52 rifle, chambered in 7.62 by 45 millimeter. Yes, 45. The 52-57 was the 7.6239. So this is the original, this is the OG. And what kind of sucks about this as a new collector, if you're looking at one of these things, which they're so expensive now, I don't see why you would, and the ammo is super hard to find, is that the ammo is super hard to find. And really the only available stuff is either 50s and 60s surplus that's corrosive, very dirty, and has a lot of hang fires and failure to fires. Or you can reload your own, which is $2 a case, and it's a process. The dies are expensive. It's one of those obscure calibers. There was only this, and I forgot the model number, but a light machine gun chambered in that for a few years before they went to the 7.62 by 39 and the Vz.58 rifle. So, or even in this, but then, you know, they officially went to the Vz.58. And anyway, so you're seeing this right now, and if you know what these are, you'll notice right away it doesn't have the magazine. Well, that was in the description, and I did get this from Royal Tiger Imports, otherwise known as Interordnance. They just imported a bunch of stuff from Ethiopia, a bunch of stuff from all over the world. Now, they did describe these as having cracked stocks and that the magazine might be missing, and you can see the front sight hood is missing too, which that's not a big deal because it's a pain in the ass to find, but they're not that expensive. The magazines were a little bit harder to find, but actually Numerich had those, and they were on sale, so I got 2 of them, which is awesome. So I have 2 magazines for that, which is a really positive thing. Now, these were advertised as having cracked stocks. Now, usually what that means, if I get something from AIM Surplus or Alden at the Mosin Crate, or, you know, wherever I usually get firearms, AIM Surplus, J&G Sales, I used to get their stuff from there, and they're fairly honest about it. But this, and you know, it's technically it's exactly as described, so I can't really fault them for it, and I'm not really mad about it. I was totally expecting this. This is a significant crack. I mean, this is a catastrophic failure crack that the armorers in Ethiopia, or, you know, the soldier maybe, knew that, and they tried to repair it, and you got some rivets up there and stuff, some screws. Just a very crude repair. Now, if you see this, I can still, if I twist it sideways like that, I mean, it'll fire right now. I could probably fire this, and it, you know, wouldn't really affect the functionality for a while, but over time, this is just going to get worse and worse and worse, and it's going to actually affect the functionality of the gun. So, what do? Oh, we'll just get a new stock for it. Well, unfortunately with these, stocks are incredibly hard to find, and I would at this point be willing to pay almost whatever somebody wanted, but the receiver also matches the stock. It's part of the gun's history, so what do? Well, luckily for me, my neighbor is a professional woodworker. So I brought it over to him, and I was like, hey, do you think you could repair this, and, you know, without sanding the stock and everything and whatever? He's like, oh yeah, just strip all the metal parts off of it, and we'll get it epoxied. I'll repair it. It'll be good as new. It'll be really super strong, and it'll be good to go. So now I know you're sitting there, all you purists out there, well, you're going to destroy the original collectability. It's not collectible. It's got a huge crack in it that affects functionality. It decreases the collector's value significantly. Plus, this is a rifle that I've wanted in my collection for a long time. I just didn't want to pay the exorbitant prices. And I figured this one was the $300. So it's about what they were going for 5-6 years ago. But I guess times have changed, because now I guess they're excellent condition, unissued. They're going for like $1,000 on Royal Tiger. So I don't know how that happened. But anyway, I just wanted to do a part 1 of this restoration project, because I do have the magazines coming, and then this front sight hood, and then this thing is covered in grease and cosmetics, so I just have to clean it out. It's in otherwise very good condition. The stock again matches the receiver, some of the little parts match. The piston cover is the only thing that doesn't match underneath this guy. But I don't know, I could be wrong. That one doesn't have a serial number on it, the bayonet. But yeah, I'll do a video once this thing gets completed. I'll be doing a video, try to get some ammo for it, and we'll go out and shoot. They're actually really nice little guns. And the cool thing about this particular one is, for all the drawbacks of the cracked stock, which is actually because I know somebody at easy repair, and it's missing a couple parts, I still think I got a really, really good deal, even with all the extra little things that I'm gonna have to get. I don't have to get the front sight hood, it would just be complete. And the ammo does suck to get for it, so that's the one part. But it'll be cool because this thing is a unique rifle. It's really cool. It was kind of the Czechoslovakian answer to the SKS, and I think this is on par with it, the way it fires. And this one is in cosmetically pretty decent shape considering where it came from. These came out of Ethiopia, if I didn't mention that already. And so this thing had a pretty extensive service life, right? And it's in cosmetically decent shape. And what's good is the bore on this. These use a 311 diameter bullet, so I don't actually have a round, but guess what? That's convenient. 7.62 by 54 rimmed, has the same diameter. And if you saw my video about doing the bullet test, look at that. There's still plenty of life left in this. I got some friends who have one of these, I have one friend that has one of these. And his is shot out completely. The bore is disgusting. You can't really hit the broadside of a barn if you were standing in it. But this one I think is going to be a really good shooter. Pretty excited for that. But again, I cannot find a new stock for this, and it's the original stock. I'm going to have it professionally repaired, and that's something that I think is okay when you're collecting. Again, usually I'm not gonna sand the stocks. I'm not gonna mess with it. If it's a small wrist crack up here or something like that, or like a hairline, I generally don't care. I'm not too concerned with that unless it starts getting bigger. But I've got rifles that I've shot hundreds of rounds through, and the cracks haven't gotten any bigger, so it's not really an issue. Some people it's an issue for, but then you got people like me that'll be fine with it. So, so this kind of ties into the whole collecting series, but it's gonna be a standalone kind of fun project restoration video. And you can see the process of bringing something like this back to life and getting a decent discount on it. So that's all I've got. If you want to support the channel and you like my work just like this and help fund projects like this, Patreon is a great way to do that. The link to that is in the description. It's $1 a month, $5 a month or more. It gets onto my Discord server, and I find that pretty fun. A lot of cool information is exchanged there. We got a lot of people on there now, which is awesome. And it just does help support cool projects like this. Like this was partially funded by Patreon funds, and the magazines, I'll say one of them, was also funded by Patreon. So it helps me get cool things like this, helmets, doing ballistic tests, all that stuff, to teach you guys about historical artifacts and military surplus firearm collecting, because it boils down to history. And it's tangible. It's going to be cool to see this thing actually out at the range. You go from this is how I got it, to firing out at the range with a repaired stock and a really cool surplus rifle that's very unique and just cool, I think. But anyway, so that's what your support does. If you can't support the channel financially, I just appreciate you watching. So again, thank you for watching. And if you got any questions, I'll try to answer. But I don't know when part 2 is going to come out with the repaired stock and the magazine, but hopefully it'll be soon. So thank you for watching, everybody, and we'll see you on the next video.